Buenas noches, chicos. Hoy es domingo, es el 13 de enero y estos son los apuntes que están en el paquete página 15, so packet page 15. Este es para el jueves. This is for Thursday. So this is ER/IR verb conjugations. It's also found on text page 150. So as you know, in the past we've gone over verbs that end in AR like hablar. Also we went over comprar. Now we're going to go over verbs that end in ER and IR. For example, verbs that end in ER are like comer, vender, beber, leer, aprender. So all those verbs, they don't end in AR, they end in ER. When you conjugate them, you can't use the AR chart. Remember the AR chart? O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So that particular chart that we use with AR verbs, you can't use. It doesn't fit. So you have to find a different chart to use for ER verbs. You do, however, follow the same rule. So when you conjugate an AR verb, you drop the AR and you add the ending. It's the same idea when you conjugate an ER verb. You take the ER in comer, you drop the ER, and you're going to add this ending. In the yo form, you add O. In the to form, ES. If it's el, e, usted, you add E. Remember that these are all of your singulars over here. And all of your plurals are on the right-hand side. For nosotros, you drop the ER and you add EMOS because it's an ER verb. For vosotros, you guys in Spain, you drop the ER and you add E with the accent IS. Notice that if it's an AR verb, you add A with the accent IS. If it's an ER verb, you add E with the accent IS. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, drop the ER and you add EN. Try the verb comer. Pause the video. So for the verb comer, you should have como, I eat. Comes, you eat. Él, ella, usted come. Nosotros comemos, we eat. Vosotros, y'all, coméis. Y ellos, ellas, ustedes, they all boys, they all girls, and you guys comen, you guys eat. Fabuloso. IR verbs, or verbs in an IR like escribir, vivir, and compartir, follow a slightly different pattern. This is not like the verb ir, which we know means to go. Remember that one is voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. It's not that verb. That verb means to go. It always has an A after it. So voy a la cafeteria. And it acts like an AR verb. These are different. This is to write, to live, and to share. With these, you drop the IR and you add the following endings. O, es, e. Oh my gosh, it's almost exactly the same as ER verbs. Nosotros is different. Drop the IR and you add imos. Vosotros is also different. Drop the IR and add I with the accent S. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes, en. So the only two that are different are going to be nosotros and vosotros. Try the verb escribir. Pause the video. Excelente. You should have yo escribo, I write. Tú escribes, you write. Él escribe, he writes. Or ella escribe, she writes. Or usted escribe, you formal write. Nosotros escribimos. This one's different because it's got the I. Vosotros escribís, y'all write. That one's different because it's got the I, and you have to have an accent on it. It's an IR verb. And then the last one, ellos or ellas, they write. Or ustedes escriben, you write. Fantastico. On the webpage, I put a couple of activities to help you practice. So here's a video on conjugating ER and IR verbs. Here's practice just with ER verbs and practice just with IR verbs. Keep in mind that both of these aren't from our textbook, so you're probably going to see words that you haven't seen before, but they're still going to follow the pattern. And then here you have ER and IR verbs all mixed up. Fantastico. Make sure that you practice a little bit before class. We'll definitely practice in class. Adios.